Hi, I'm Lansing Mayor Andy Schor. Recently, it was snowing pretty hard, and I got to take a ride along in one of our snow plow trucks, which is right here behind us. So I'm here with Vic Rose, who is our superintendent for our operations and maintenance. I learned quite a bit on this tour. I'm going to ask Vic a few questions, and he's going to educate you like I was educated when I did the tour. So Vic, thank you for being here with me.
Absolutely.
First, let me ask you, because I get asked this a lot, what is the priority when we snowplow roads? What are the first roads we do? When do we get to side roads? How do we determine?
Sure, common question. Obviously, we're going to hit the first roads with the most traffic. State highways, business routes, things like that. And then we're going to move to the major streets, which carry our bus routes and all of those things. Then we're going to move into the local streets, the dead ends, the alleys, the community centers, the sidewalks that we have to plow. It takes a considerable amount of time to get all of those major streets and business routes done before we can move to those roads. So we really do appreciate patience. And it takes us a day or two to get there, but we will get there, and that's how we prioritize those roads.
And sometimes when it's snowing hard, you got to do it once, twice,
we may have to go back and do those major streets a second time.
That's right.
Today we're doing like a two-man operation, clearing off the roads so quicker.
So you have the plow blade on the side here, and you have one in the front also. That's
Under the body.
Under the body. That's also kicking this way?
Yes. That'll kick it to him, and he can grab the snow and he'll take off with it.
Gotcha.
This also comes equipped with a laser, if you can see it right there, the green dot on the road. It's really cool when it's really snowing hard, because it'll show the whole laser beam, the full laser beam.
Oh, really?
Of the snow.
Right. So you see so it comes from the top of the truck then?
Yep.
So is that your laser guide for the plow?
That's telling me how far the wing plow spans out. So instead of me taking my eyes off the road, I keep looking at my wing plow. I can just keep an eye on my dot right there, and it keeps you up to the curb so you don't go over the curb and take out a mailbox or hit a car or something like that.
So you're doing two trucks at the same time?
Yeah, what we're doing is we're moving the snow from the center of the lane all the way to the curb. We can go down and back, and pretty much the whole street's done.
Gotcha.
Now, I get a lot of questions about how hard our workers work, and I think they work pretty hard. So tell me about the shifts and how many crews we have on the roads.
Sure. Well, in the wintertime, we separate our first shift and we create a second shift so that we have 24-hour coverage.
Usually we will work a 16-hour rotation. We'll be off for 8 hours. We'll get our sleep. We come back and we can work up to that 16-hour rotation again until all the majors, mains, locals, everything down to your cul-de-sacs, dead ends are all cleared out and opened up, and then we go back to our normal hours of operation. So there are some nights of long hours. There are nights of working, through the midnight hours.
What they do is, generally speaking, when we go into a full-scale event, we will work 16-hour shifts because we lose about an hour, hour and a half in between shifts when we switch these drivers out. So we're going to work them 16-hour shifts primarily through that entire event. Wow. Yeah, and it's all about efficiency. It's about keeping trucks on the road and not having that gap, particularly at the 7 a.m., 5 p.m. hours, when it's a real mess.
What time did you get on this morning?
6:30.
Did you? Gonna be on straight through until,
10:30.
16 hours?
We're all 16 hours.
And 16 hours on and 8 hours off. That's some pretty hard-working city employees.
It is.
So if you see some of our city employees out there, give them a wave. Thank them for all of the hard work they're doing as they're taking care of our streets.
Cup of hot chocolate would be cool too.
Cup of hot chocolate.
You have to clear the roads. I mean, the mail doesn't get there. The police and fire are not able to get there if there's an emergency. I mean, it's first priority. There's no doubt. As long as snow falls, that's our priority, and that's what we're here for. To make it safe.
Snow plowing has been interesting because I get I get all the complaints, and people. I get the plow hasn't been to my house yet, and then I get I just shoveled and the plow just plowed me back in.
Now we're dabbling in social media. The trucks are being outfitted with GPS. The GPS allows us to see where the trucks have and have not been. We're able to report to the citizens of Lansing and update our plowing and snow removal efforts, and allowing the citizens to log on and see, okay, we're on our major streets. Oh, now we're in locals. They're here and they're moving in my direction. Any other questions they may have, we can answer now with a little more precision accuracy.
So how often will you do the same? You do all the major roads and you go back over them?
Yes.
Is there a certain path that you have?
First we'll start with majors, and then we kind of got priority lists. We'll go to like a second priority, then there'll be like bus runs.
Okay.
We'll just go in order, but when it's in bad conditions like this, we usually stay on the majors. We try to keep all the majors cleaned out.
They tell you when to go on to minors, or does someone else do that later on?
Yeah, they'll tell you, but pretty much you can get an idea of when they're going to go on, when the majors are cleared. But if you can see us plowing the mirror, you can see how much snow is taken out.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
That's crazy.
So my last question, I got to go in the loader here. I got to go in the plow as we were going down Cedar Street, it's the one I was in, and I learned quite a bit about the blades on the truck and the wing blade that pops out, and how we have two trucks going together to get a whole street. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. The new wing is what we call a junior wing, actually. It's 8 feet of additional blade, and it will plow about 5.5 feet of road. So we're getting about 1 3/4 lanes. What that does, though, is it does leave a furrow in the middle of a lane, and that's why we generally will have a chase truck behind every one of the wings. Having that furrow in the middle of the lane is a little problematic. If it was completely cleared the lane, probably wouldn't worry about the traffic coming behind the truck. But that's why we have a chase truck. The other reason is because these wings are new to the city. We don't want people trying to get around the truck, so that other truck actually acts as a blocker and holds those vehicles back.
So it's more efficient, and it protects the trucks and the drivers.
Both.
Well, great. Well, yeah. I appreciate that. This is what I learned when I took my my time on the snow plow, and don't forget it carries all the salt in here also. And the drivers were showing me how they don't drop salt all the time, because if it's still snowing, it can be a waste. So they're very efficient with the salt, but they do put that down. It was very impressive. I thank you. I thank your staff and your drivers.
Absolutely.
Again, thank one of our city employees if you see them, whether they're patching potholes or clearing our roads. They're doing very hard work. So thanks to everybody.
Thank you.
Serving the citizens of Lansing, it definitely has its plus sides. I mean, without myself or the other individuals that come in day to day on a normal schedule, or take time to come in on overtime and be away from their family and loved ones to remove the snow, to make sure that the roads are safe for travel, emergency vehicles, school busing, CATA busing, everything that comes along with that. It's a responsibility that everybody has by signing on the dotted line and coming to work every day. I know some days some people are happier to see us than others. I know a lot of people, they depend on us too. People have doctor's appointments, mail needs to come, children need to go to school, groceries. It is a responsibility, and it is one that I enjoy. I enjoy plowing, and it's nice to hear people, give us a thumbs up and say we're doing a great job, and with all the good and comes with the bad. There's long hours and fatigue and being away from your family. Sometimes it's a holiday, but in the end, it's all good and it's all worth it. And if we didn't enjoy doing what we do, we wouldn't be here.
Thank you very much.
All right, nice meeting you.
I appreciate it. Have fun.
Yep, you too.
Good luck.
See ya.